It's the amphitheater, February 12th, 1972. Bruiser and Seaman Thomas as a tag team here at the amphitheater. And this is really going to be a tough one, let me tell you. And what have we got in that audience? We got 11,500 jammed in, packed like sardines, fans screaming and yelling. That's right. One of the biggest houses in the history of wrestling in Chicago. Of course, then, the only game in town was the stadium or the amphitheater. And, of course, at the amphitheater, the capacity was around 10,007, so we packed in 11,500 this night. I want to tell you, they were standing on their heads. We had them all over. We had them hanging from the rafters at the amphitheater this night. And I want to tell you, two finer specimens you would never find than Dick the Bruiser and Seaman R. Thomas. Seaman R. Thomas. Look at that body. Oh, wow. Look at that body. Seaman R. Thomas. That's the Black Adonis of the mat. That's right. In those days, fans, everybody loves Seaman Thomas. Now, this is the same Seaman Thomas that in 1959 and 1960 packed over like 35,000 people in Sox Park to watch him wrestle. Buddy Rogers and some other tough dudes. That's right, 59 and 60. Now here we are in 1972. Seaman Thomas doesn't look a day older, and he's in there with Dick the Bruiser as his partner. And the fans love these two. They love Dick the Bruiser and Seaman Thomas. Oh, man, every time they appear, they come out. Just like this night, 1972. It's February 12th. And in Sapporo, Japan, they have the 11th Winter Olympics going on. And let me tell you, it doesn't look too good for the Americans at the Olympics in Sapporo. We're a little behind at this moment. And let's see what else was going on in 1972 on February the 12th. Phil Esposito and Bobby Orr were leading the Boston Bruins, and they were at 38, 8, and 8. Terrific, huh? Esposito had 46 goals and Orr 25. Wow. Doug Buffone had just signed a contract for $40,000. Boy, if Doug Buffone, hey, I'll tell you, in 1972, $40,000. He was the premier linebacker for the Bears then. Well, the prices here at the amphitheater were 3, 4, 5, and 6. Can you believe that, fans? Today they're charged. Today the prices are up around whatever, right? Then at the amphitheater, if you wanted to go to see wrestling, it was from $3 to $6, depending on where you wanted to sit. $6 gave you the best seat in the house, right down in front. And there was where Bobby Heenan was sitting, in the corner down front. He was managing the Blackjacks this night. This was 1972, the same year, of course, that we had two big events happen in the Blackjacks' lives. Number one, Lanzagotti's leg broke early on in the year, and Dick the Bruiser took full credit for that. Later on, they met at Soldier Field in that incredible cage match. The Blackjacks, Bruiser, and the Crusher. Tonight, however, we have Seaman R. Thomas in there. Seaman Thomas. In this particular match, in 1972, Seaman Thomas got hurt towards the end of the match. And the Bruiser had to bring in his pal, the Crusher, on the following show to sort of even the score. But here we can see Seaman looking fit as a fiddle in against Blackjack, Lanza, and Mulligan with Bruiser as his partner. And they're doing fine at this point in the game. And at this point in the game, let me just say that this is the Hall of Fame Classics. And I'm Bob Luce, your host and moderator. And I want to tell you one thing. A lot of folks, it's hard to tell anybody where you're at a particular day in your life, especially when you're looking back. But looking back at this night at the amphitheater, February the 12th, 1972, I could tell you unequivocally, I was at the amphitheater, right at the ringside, watching this match. Look at this. Seaman Thomas is really getting powered on. Now Mulligan, Blackjack Mulligan, of course, his real name Bob Windham. Hey, he was a product of Alabama. One of Bear Bryant's big, rough, tough linemen. Went on to play with the New York Jets, so you know that he's tough and rough. Blackjack Lanza, well, he's another story. I'm out of Texas, rough and tough, and he was one tough hombre. Blackjack Lanza, and he could take it, let me tell you. You know, when he got his leg broke, I tell you, all he did is lay in the hospital bed and cuss Bruiser. That's all he used to do. That's all he did. Hey, the nurses used to go in, and he wanted to even, you know what I mean? He was hard to control. Doctors want to talk to him, and they want to beat him up all the time. Lanza just waited for the day that he could make revenge. And that was, of course, that came later on in this year, 1972. But for now, Lanza's in one piece, and he's having a big time with the Bruiser. They're pounding each other in the corner there at the International Amphitheater. A great match here. And this was one of the premier matches in Chicago in 1972. Hey, tickets were scalping probably for $100, $200. That's a lot of money then when the price was $6. But in those days, if you wanted to get down in front to see the Bruiser and in action with the Crusher, for instance, or even with Thomas against the Blackjacks, you had to pay big money if you couldn't buy the $6 ticket. And this show was sold out 2 weeks before, so let me tell you, this was the premier ticket in Chicago, February 12, 1972. This was where it's at. People were here. Hey, there was 2,000 or 3,000 outside, right? They couldn't get in, and we had to call local commander, police commander, and have him send some reinforcements down to put up the barricades so they didn't break the doors down at the amphitheater and come storming in. Yeah, you know, a lot of our security. Oh, wait, what happened there? A double knockout in the ring. Whoa, somebody got their signals crossed. I was just going to tell you. A lot of our security we put on the doors trying to keep the people out who were out in the street trying to get in that didn't have tickets. And, you know, so we split our security forces up. Half of them at the door and half of them at the ring in case there was a riot. But here you see Bobby Heenan has got himself hurt. And Blackjacks, they've got some kind of problem here. Maybe Heenan called the wrong signal because they just crashed like two locomotives crashing in the middle of the night. And now we have, you notice those little decals or those things on their trunks there. That's their brand, the Blackjacks brand.